All right. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to another Monday evening of Cliff Notes Live. Hope y'all guys are doing fantastic. Man, I already see a lot of y'all out there. That was always such a cool feeling when I log in and I could already see some comments back and forth. So howdy to everyone. Amanda, Dawn, Ma, Anthony, Chickadee, Anthony, and Angie, Cindy. Oh my gosh. David Buchanan. All my friends are out here. Welcome to all of y'all. I got to start right. SKD143. I love my wife. I love my kids. I love all the fellow Big Brother fans, reality TV fans. Well, welcome to all of y'all. Y'all realize we're in May. This is my first show in May, and it feels like it. I spent all weekend trapped inside because we had rain and thunder. It's just bad down here, just yucky. It's actually sunny here. Now we've got tornado warnings. I know who said, I saw just a second, tornado coming to Virginia. Ma will be safe up there. I talked to my mom. Some of y'all may know, she comes out here and tries to sit in on my shows. Thank you, Mom. But she's gonna have to miss out on this one because they've got bad weather up in Dallas-Fort Worth, tornado warnings up there as well. So I know some of y'all have got bad weather. Yeah, well, April showers bring May flowers on. So I guess we're in that time of the season. So be safe, everyone. But at least down here, it finally got a little bit nicer. It's starting to feel like springtime, summertime, things like that. Now, I almost didn't make it. Y'all don't know how close you came to getting a little notification saying Cliff's episode this evening has been temporarily postponed. Just as I'm trying to get everything set up, everything goes out. My internet goes out. Our phones, everything goes out here at the house. I mean, it's such a horrible feeling when suddenly nothing's working. And I thought, God, what am I going to do? I'm going to be down at Sonic or Starbucks or somewhere trying to log onto their system just so I can do a show. And I would have been down there doing it as well down there. But now, right before showtime, about 20 minutes or so ago, it finally came back on and I was able to get everything loaded up and all of that. So I was really excited. I still got a smile on my face just to have the internet working from before. So anyway, howdy to all y'all again. All right, let's see what I'll try to keep up with these comments as well. They cancel your band performance. Well, if there's a tornado, I don't necessarily blame them. Hey, yeah, the wind section, they're talking about instruments, not tornadoes, right? So yeah, hey, if that's what it takes to be safe. I do want to know what you play in the band, though, Ma. That'd be kind of interesting to hear. All right, let's see. What did you see Jessica's fun over on Twitter today? No, I haven't seen that, Anthony. Are you talking about Jessica, Big Brother 21, my Jessica, or Jessica Nixon from 19? No, I haven't seen it yet. I need to go out there and check. But anyway, I will. Joshy, howdy, Joshy. Today's my birthday. Well, happy birthday to you, Joshy. I hope you're having a fantastic celebration. Thank you for coming here and listening for a little while on your birthday. I appreciate that. But I hope when we get done with this show, you go off and do some kind of amazing celebrating because you absolutely deserve it, my friend. And Amanda, turning 40 tomorrow. Well, congratulations. I hope you've got the celebrations all lined up. 40 is a pretty cool age. So enjoy every bit of it. Do a little dancing and do a whole lot of celebrating, guys, on y'all's birthdays. Let's see what else. Cindy saying thunderstorms this morning, 70s this afternoon. That's Texas weather down there. Down here where you ain't be freezing. I saw a funny thing. I think it's Jess Foxworthy or somewhere saying only in Texas you have people wearing hoodies and shorts just to try to adjust and handle any kind of weather that we've got down here because we get it all. All right, let's see. I see the big 4-0, Amanda. That's a milestone. So do all kinds of fun with that one. What's the weather like in Massachusetts? It's probably a little cooler than it is down here, huh? All right. Did you see the guy in Texas that killed by bee stings mowing his lawn? Well, I'm glad it wasn't me. Y'all know I've been dealing with some bees here and there, right? I'll give y'all more details about later, but I finally had enough. I said, that's it. I called a beekeeper. And so there's someone that's going to come out and take a look. And here in a few weeks, they're probably going to remove the beehive for me. And I'm not messing with it anymore. You know, I take chances. I was willing to do whatever it took inside that Big Brother house. But when it involves climbing up on a 20-foot ladder and having bees swarming around everywhere, it just doesn't seem like the smartest thing in the world. I do have a little bit of common sense up in there in this old blockhead. So yeah, I called a beekeeper and they said, yeah, let's take a look at it. We may be able to do something better. So I'll have more details for y'all later, but it's just for that reason alone. You don't mess with the bees down here anymore. You can have some killer bees and all of that. So yeah, what a horrible thing. Mow your lawn and then get attacked by bees. All right, I feel for that. I do indeed. All right. With that being said, let's talk about we got as we always do. Let's talk about what today is, and I saw a mention about tomorrow as well. We're going to talk about it. But first of all, today, for those of you who don't know, and I didn't know until about 24 hours ago, today. Oh, Don, Ma, your birthday's on Thursday as well. Well, congratulations in advance, my friend. All right, so today is National. What do y'all think? Today is National Paranormal Day. I didn't know that. You think the ghosts know? You think the ghosts are out there having some big shindig this evening? It's our day. We get to party and I don't know, drink lots of spirits. National Paranormal Day. I love paranormal stuff. As a younger Cliff Hog, I was so scared, but I loved reading The Shining, the Amityville Horror. A lot of those paranormal books. Well, I love the stories about ghosts and things like that. It's always kind of interesting. But it's a little chill in the air reading that stuff. Paranormal Activity, the movie. I don't know. Have y'all seen Paranormal Activity? Scary. I watch that show. I bought a copy of it while I was over in Azerbaijan and brought it back. And Sharon and I sat down one night, late at night. We watched Paranormal Activity. And it scared us. There isn't much that scares me. I've seen a lot of stuff over the years, but that movie kind of scared me. It certainly got my attention. So happy Paranormal Day to you. For those of you who got poltergeists floating around the house or whatever, tell them congratulations. You don't want to make them mad, so make sure that they know that you're celebrating their special day, right? And maybe if that's the case, they'll leave you alone. They'll go next door and curse the people next door for a little while, hang out with them, and give you a free night. I don't know, but happy Paranormal Day to everyone. Ma saying it's Canada Day. Is that true, Angie? July 1st is also Canada's birthday. I see it right there. Okay, congratulations. Oh, Canada. Yeah. It's funny. Canada's July 1st. We're July 4th. If you're up by Niagara Falls or somewhere, just do fireworks July 2nd or 3rd. We just cover the whole section of that. Canada and U.S. all at once. How about that? Angie said, "What's the apparition moving behind you?" We got to talk about this painting. There's always rhyme and reason to the backgrounds I use, and I doubt that y'all picked up on this one just yet. But we are going to talk about that. But yeah, it's kind of scary, isn't it? Huh? But not ghost, real life, as we're going to talk about. Who's that? Hey y'all, watch it. Don, I saw an eye things. Who you going to call? Well, Ghostbusters. Oh, one of my favorite comedy movies about paranormal activity as well. Tim saying, did you finally get rid of your bee problem? Now, you may have missed it, Tim. I just talked about a second ago. Not yet. I'm calling in the experts. I'm calling in the cavalry. They have big, thick suits that I'll sit indoors. I think I'm going to try to film it because, nowadays you got to put everything on social media. And so I'll record on Instagram. One of two things. I'll either record me sitting down below filming up as the experts take care of these bees, or you may get a shot of me running breakneck speed with the camera in front of me as I'm trying to escape the bees because the beekeeper's got them all worked up and they're going after the guy that's got a lot of exposed skin. So it ought to be exciting either way. So no, not yet, Tim, but I'm headed that direction. And Cindy says you got photos with apparitions in them. Is it apparitions? Apparitions. I think it's apparitions. But now that I say it, I don't know. But ghost. There you go. Well, that's pretty scary. That's pretty scary. I know we used to. I'll tell you. I hadn't planned to tell a story, but I will. For those of you who don't know, I worked at Six Flags Over Texas, a theme park in Arlington, Texas. I worked there 4 years off and on, and in the gifts and souvenirs section. And we had some ghosts there at Six Flags. And there very well could be because that was just a very swampish kind of land before they built the theme park there. And I know there was one place called the Texas Candy Shop or Texas Candy Store. And there was supposedly a little girl ghost that lived upstairs in the attic. So, the background was she had died of a snake bite in the 1800s. You always hear these stories. But supposedly, a little girl lived up there. And I will say there were times where in the middle of the night, security would report that the light was turned on. And we would go back the next morning. The manager say, y'all need to leave these lights off. And we'd go up there, and there's no light bulb in the upstairs area because we didn't keep stuff up there. We'd say, there's no light bulb. And they say, well, security reported there was a light turned on. And every once in a while, you'd hear a phone ringing upstairs. Well, there was no telephone upstairs either. So, take it for what it's worth. But it's funny. I think we all have little ghost stories here and there, little experiences that could be or not be. We won't know until, I guess, when our time on Earth is done, and then we'll go hang out somewhere else, and we may say, all of it was real? Oh my God, all of it? Wow. All right, I'll move on from that. Crosstrack, all right, live near the Amityville horror house. Thinks it's BS, not a scary house at all. I've seen pictures, and I know there's people who still live there and everything, Crosstrack, and you're probably right. I mean, the Amityville, I'm sure it was written for TV, and heck, if you got a house that's kind of haunted, you might as well just promote it all the way and get someone to buy it because it is haunted, because other people may just say, yeah, ain't no way. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's BS. But from what I remember reading that book, even though the haunting part may be BS, there really was a guy that lived there that killed members of his family and his stuff, right? I mean, there's still plenty of reasons that I would be a little hesitant about going in and moving into that particular house. Forget Jody the pig and everything from the movie and the book. Just the fact that there were some pretty evil people that lived there beforehand is enough to make me just go on down the road and look somewhere else. Cindy, yes, Cindy's asking, are you watching The Circle? Yeah, I'll talk about that now. Even though I get a little ahead of myself. Yes, I started watching The Circle. Now, I got to say, how many episodes? 12 episodes maybe are out there now. I've watched like 2 or 3. So I'm way behind. I can't get caught up on anything. But I did watch it. The Circle is so cool. It'd be hard. I've said this before. It'd be hard for me just saying, hey, Circle, so, emoji, waving face, angry question face. I wouldn't be able to keep that all correct. Everyone else is saying that guy's got to be in his 50s. There's no way he's the 20-year-old sorority girl that he says he is. I don't think I could pull it off. But watching those people, and when it's nothing but typing onto a screen and trying to read between the lines and everything, I like The Circle. I've enjoyed it so far. So yes, Cindy, I'm watching it, but I'm way behind. But I'm going to try to get caught up. But I will never get caught up, because when I go out to Netflix and I see that The Circle's listed, I also see that they've got the Netflix in France, they've got the Netflix in Brazil, and I assume they translate from the Portuguese and French. Otherwise, it's going to be a real quick show for me to watch because I wouldn't have any clue. But yeah. So I'm going to watch some more of The Circle because I love that particular show. All right, let's see. What else? Julie is one of my new online friends. That's pretty cool, Don. I've reached out to her as well, and seems real nice. And she may have been interesting if she'd stayed in that house a little bit longer. So since we're talking, for those of you who don't know, Julie Vu, Big Brother Canada. For those of you who don't know, Big Brother Canada, it ends this week. Was it Wednesday or Thursday? I think it's maybe the finale's on Thursday. It runs very similar to the way Big Brother US works in terms of Monday, Wednesdays, Thursday, Fridays, things like that. So, but ends Wednesday or Thursday, and I'm so excited. I really, of the 4 people that are left in the house, I'm glad I got caught up before the end of it. And of the 4 people caught up that are still in the house, if any one of them wins, I'd be okay with it. I think they all, in their own different ways, deserve it. Okay, it's tonight, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday is the finale. I thought so. In fact, tonight we're going to shut down just a little early so everyone can watch it who wants to. But yeah, I'm okay with any of the 4 that are left if they win it, because they all have done things to deserve it. But if I'm being completely honest, of everyone that's left in there, the person I kind of in the back of my head am cheering for more than anyone else is Kiefer. I love the guy. I think the fact that he was able to talk himself back into the house when they were getting ready to boot him, and it just was behind Jetson with giving the veto to Beth and everything else. It's just there's a lot of reasons I'd love to see Kiefer win, but any of the 4, it's been a pretty good season. I've enjoyed it. I've always felt bad for the Big Brother House guest Canada from last season, because I really wanted some of them to come back in the house. I wish they'd get another shot, especially Hero. I really liked him. There's a few others as well, but with all that being said, it's been a great season. So we're going to finish up with Big Brother Canada this week, and then in just a couple of months, Big Brother 23 USA version, and I'm excited for that as well. Let's see. Let me see where. Who's that? Can't keep track, guys. Let's see. I want Tara to win out of all the ones left. Man, Angie, I don't have any problem with that, especially after she fought her way back into the house. Hey, she's not the only person who fought her way back into a Big Brother house, right? I could kind of sympathize. She did what it took, rolling those balls. She beat Jed, huge comp beast and all, and she beat him and got back in. So I got no problem if she wins. And Bray as well. Michelle saying, Braden has been a lot of fun watching this season. He's just seems like a really nice guy. I think he'd be an interesting person to hang out with. And Tyshawn as well. All of them. As I said, all four of them, I'm happy with anyone who wins that thing. It's been a good season. All right, let's see what else. Cindy, trying out for the Circle season 3. Go for it. Now the question, Cindy, if you try it, would you be who you are, or would you come in as someone completely different? If you want, feel free to borrow me. Go ahead and tell them that you're a 56-year-old cowboy guy, and I thought maybe they'd believe it, right? I don't know if that would help your cause or not. They may just immediately say, yeah, get him out of here. He'll monopolize everything. But it'd be fun. I wonder when you try out for the Circle, surely they ask you, are you going to be you or are you going to be someone else? And I wonder which works better. It's probably just like casting for Big Brother and everything else. They're looking for all sorts. So I'm sure they're looking for some people that say, nah, I'm being me. I'm going to win this thing just the way I am. And you probably have other people who say, yeah, I'm going to make up 100% of everything about me. And I'm going to win it because I'm going to play some completely different character. And I'm sure how boring would it be if the Circle had no one playing someone else, if they all were just being who they were? Or if you had how many people compete in the season? I don't know, 12, 14, something like that. If all of them were playing someone completely different than who they really were, it'd be kind of interesting. No, it's hard enough, though, as a viewer to keep track when just a couple of people are saying there's some young guy when they're actually an older woman, or vice versa and all that. If everyone was doing that, I don't know if I could ever keep track of it yet. Crosstrack said, haven't seen the Circle yet. Check it out. It's good. It's very interesting. It's a very modern day version of reality TV and all of that. Tim, do you believe in UFOs, and would you go to Roswell? Yeah, I'd go to Roswell. I've been to Roswell, not for UFOs. I used to do workout in southeast New Mexico and everything in the oil field. But do I believe in UFOs? Kinda. I think now they've been everywhere, right? And I don't know if all these UFOs people are talking about now, the military and all that, are they UFOs from some other planet, or are they UFOs from some other military facility here in the world that we don't know about? That who knows what all our different militaries around the world are working on. There could be all kinds of weird drones and everything that no one else knows about that may be impersonating UFOs. I don't know. Who knows? But with that being said, yes, I believe in extraterrestrial life. I believe this universe is too big to not have some other life somewhere else. Do they want to come and visit us? I don't know. Who knows? There could be thousands of planets with lives on them. But even with that, how many of them have the ability to travel from solar system to solar system? And of those, how many are close enough they even care about coming over here? And if they have found us, do they really want to hang around and do a lot of analysis, or they just say, yeah, we'll move on. We'll check back in a million years from now. So I don't know. So yeah, I believe that we're probably not the only life in this whole great universe, but I just don't know that everything we think is UFOs are necessarily UFOs. Does that make sense? Kind of in between in terms of my beliefs, I guess. So yeah, as Crosstrack says, I don't even want to come and visit us. I used to love the old science fiction, the Twilight Zone, things like that, where you get some alien race that comes and visits us, and all they see is how screwed up we are. And it's like, okay, yeah, guys, y'all take care. Just figure your stuff out before you get out and start going around the rest of the universe, because you got a few issues here and there. I could see people thinking about that, but hey, we make it exciting, right? How boring would it be if we weren't a little bit on edge in terms of everything that we did? I'm not saying I believe in other life, but I don't believe they look like aliens. Who knows? I doubt they look like us with little skinny necks and all that. They're probably going to be completely, we're going to say, you look like a broccoli. Yeah, but I'm still living life. So, we'll see. All right, what else is going on here, guys? Twilight Zone is my favorite show. It was one of my favorite. Twilight Zone and Night Gallery. Now, Night Gallery was a spooky one. Talking about paranormal type movies. Night Gallery was a scary old show. when was that? Back in the 60s, I guess. Oh, that it came on late at night, and I wasn't always allowed to watch that. But every once in a while, I could sneak around, or it was on in an afternoon when no one was expecting. I'd watch me some Night Gallery. Scary stuff. Did you watch a Jordan Peele Twilight Zone reboot? David's asking. I saw some of them. Twilight Zone, the new version, I was kind of hot and cold. There were a few episodes I saw that were pretty good, and a few of them, they were like, okay. Yeah. But that's the cool thing about a show like that is you don't have to enjoy every one. Some of them, the old Twilight Zone was like that. Some of them are great. Some of them like, okay. But all right. And Angie said, I like Friday the 13th, the series. Hey, I guess I like the more suspenseful stuff as opposed to the Friday the 13th where it's all, we've killed people 40 different ways. What's the 41st way that we can do it? Now, I remember a few of them. Was it Friday the 13th part 3 in 3D or something where squeezing heads and eyeballs popping at you and all kinds of stuff? I watched a lot of them over the years, but the ones that stick with me longest are some of the ones that are just the absolute thrillers that you may not even see that much. You just hear the creaks or you see the little shadows, like The Sixth Sense. That was another one that scared me. That certainly got my attention. So there you go. All right, let's talk about some other deals. I said today was Paranormal Activity Day. Yeah, I guess Paranormal Day. There's one I got to talk about. There's a lot I got to talk about, but there's one I've got to talk about tomorrow that's a very important day for me, hopefully for the rest of y'all as well. Did y'all know that tomorrow is National Teacher Appreciation Day? And it said national, but Angie, I assume that Dave, I assume that Canada maybe has a Teacher Appreciation Day as well. You would think so, right? But anyway, Teacher Appreciation Day tomorrow. Real quick shout out to my mom and dad. My dad was an English teacher. My mom was a junior high school life science teacher, so they both taught. So I come from two parents who are both teachers, and it's not always easy being a teacher, but the lives you change, incredible. So just a big old shout out to all the teachers around the world, including my parents, but also a special shout out to Miss Senora Lisa Lively, who was my Spanish teacher way back in the day, Arlington High School. She taught me for Spanish 1 and Spanish 3. So she taught 2 years of Spanish to me in high school, and she made a huge difference in my life. I don't know that I was always the best Spanish speaker, but had a lot of fun in her class. And that kind of gets back to the painting back behind, because our third year of Spanish, we got past just speaking the words. We had to speak full Spanish while we were in that classroom. No English allowed. She really wanted us to put it into use. So we weren't always great, but back then I could actually speak a little Spanish. But we moved on to literature and arts and everything else. I remember that Ms. Lively made us read Los Picadores, which is some Spanish novel from a long time ago. Picture reading Shakespeare, but it's in Spanish. And that's what this book was like. It was all written in old Spanish, and it was so hard, and it was tough. But we did that, but we also were not forced. I enjoyed it, actually. But we had to learn all about all the Spanish artists, the painters, El Greco, Velasquez, and one of my old buddies up here, Francisco Goya. And that's who painted this. And just to tie this into everything else going on, the name of this painting, very, very famous painting for those of you who aren't familiar, by Goya, is called The 3rd of May. I guess in Spanish it'd be Del Mayo, but the 3rd of May. And that's why I posted it today, because one of my favorite Spanish artists painted a painting named after today. This is recreating the events of 1808 when Napoleon and all his forces moved into Spain and tried to take over Spain. So I think this is a Spanish resistor that's getting ready to not be so resisting as the Napoleonic troops take out the prisoner. Right? He didn't have a cigarette. I thought they always gave him cigarettes and a blindfold, but maybe not so much back then. But anyway, The 3rd of May by Francisco Goya, one of his most famous paintings of all. And I know all about Spanish art thanks to Ms. Lively. So again, tying it all back to National Teacher Appreciation Day. I actually did, as it turns out, learn some stuff and remember some things from way back when I was in high school. So thank you, Ms. Lively. Appreciate it. All right, what else is going on? Let me read these are okay. I want to be a preschool teacher. Don is saying, that's a great job. Talk to Nicole Anthony. Nicole's worked with the preschool kids and all of that. It's a very fulfilling career, I think. Chris is saying I found my sixth grade teacher on Facebook 50 years after that class. That's pretty cool. I need to go back and find some of my old teachers and see if they remember me. I don't know. Would be disappointing if they say, "Who? I don't know. I don't remember you. I hope you were a good student." I was a pretty good student. Let's see. Oh, Anthony's saying, Cliff, it was your Jessica, asking about what Jessica posted today. Talking about an interaction with a non-Big Brother fan. No, I haven't seen it, Anthony, but I need to check it out. She's had some interactions with some fans that and non-Big Brother fans. Some good, some not so good. Yeah, you gotta be careful. But no, I'll go out and check it out because I have not seen that yet. All right. What day in May did you go for the LA interviews for Big Brother? Brian's asking. Brian, I actually went before that. Believe it or not, no reason you shouldn't believe it, but the casting call for Big Brother that I showed up at here in Houston was February 22nd or something. It was real early in the process. One of the first casting calls they had. And so if I recall, they said, if you haven't heard from us in about a month, then it's probably not going to happen. Well, sure enough, I got calls from them, emails and stuff. I had to fill out forms and do all kinds of stuff. I can't go into a lot of details, but I actually think by May, Brian, I'd already gone out to LA and hung around and visited some people and met Robin Cass and done all the kind of things that, they've talked about. I can say that we go out there for about a week and you talk to producers and you take all kinds of psychological and intelligent tests. You never know that watching the people on that show, right? But we do. Didn't say you had to have a passing score. You just have to take the test. They probably take the ones at the very top and the ones at the very bottom and figure out there's our people right there. But we had to take all kinds of tests and meet with the producer, do all kinds of stuff. But I had already done that by May. By this point in time, I'm just sitting around thinking, geez, am I going to get on this show? Isn't that going to be interesting? I remember for my birthday, which April 24th, so just a week or two ago, right before I went on the show, I was saying, hey, for my birthday, get me, I need to start thinking about what I want to take into that house. So I was thinking about, what I want to carry on there. Are there special bathing suits or more sunglasses? Yeah. What do you want to take if you're going to be trapped in a house for 3.5 months? So I was already thinking about when my birthday came along. So, now having said that, I also know in talking to the other people who are on the show, I got cast pretty early. Now, I didn't know. Just because I went out there early and all that, I didn't have a clue. All I knew was I was kind of in the running. There are other people who didn't even get to this point until way past May. I mean, right up, I think within just a few weeks of the show starting, there were still some people that were interviewing and doing things like that. So it's a long, drawn-out process. Is it like this year with COVID and all that? I don't know. They may have compressed it all. I have no idea how it works, but if it's anything like normal years, there's some people who've already jumped through all kinds of hoops and done all kinds of things, and others that they haven't even talked to yet, and a whole lot in between. So that's, who knows? Everyone's a little different. Because they do interviews throughout the whole spring getting ready for that show. There's a lot of work they do to get ready. It is a puzzle. I mean, it's truly getting a lot of people, 20, 30 people, and figuring out the 16 that they think will mesh together the best or the worst. You get a little bit of both of them, but anyway, so we've got that. All right, let's see. What else? AJ Fraser loves Cliff Notes. Well, thank you, AJ. I appreciate it. And you're from Canada? Well, you got some other Canadian patriots in here with you, and I appreciate all the Canadians. I appreciate the Americans. I can't remember who I talked to last week that we had from South Korea. So we truly are a global audience, which is kind of cool. It's really cool. Amazing what social media can do nowadays. Man, when I was a kid, we had pen pals. We had to do that in Spanish class. My teacher made us get pen pals. And you'd write a letter to someone over in Spain, and then they'd write a letter back to you. And if you went through the whole semester and you talked 2 or 3 times with each other, then successful. Nowadays, you just get on the computer and you can find people from any country. Well, maybe not any country. I doubt there's a lot of North Koreans online right now, but most countries, you can find someone from every other country out here and have all kinds of conversation. It just pulls the world in, makes the world so much smaller and tighter knit. And I think that's what we need going forward. All right, let's see. Crosstrack. Do they pick your clothes you wear on the show like they do on Survivor? No. Well, no, not really. Crosstrack. Now, I have heard and not just I've heard. I know that there have been times where someone showed up that had so many clothes that weren't allowed that they ended up going down and buying a few extra clothes to kind of fill in where they were missing, things like that. But for the most part, we just we just packed whatever we wanted. And once you got in there, we had all kinds of rules. There were things about logos. You can't have big logos on your shirt. I had a NASA shirt. They wouldn't let me carry it in because it was a NASA logo, even though there's been other people who've been allowed to wear it, but it depends. But there's shirts with big logos you're not allowed, hats, things like that. Clothing that has like real tight pinstripes that messes up with the cameras. Clothing that's too bright. I had a straw cowboy hat. This is my felt one, but I also had a straw one I took into the house, or tried to, but it was too white and it made the camera, I guess, bleach out my face or something. I don't know, technical stuff for camera people. But no, there's all kinds of rules about what you can and can't bring in, and they look through everything. Before you ever came in the house, people went through luggage and pulled out what you couldn't have and all that. So no, the short answer is you carry in what you want to wear. And unless you are just so bad about your clothing choices that you end up without any shorts or whatever, if that's the case, you may get a few added in for you. But other than that, it's all us. I laugh because our season, I think it was Global TV up in Canada, had a vote on, I don't know if it's a vote or hopefully it's someone just picked, the editor, the best and worst dressed house guest of Big Brother 21. Worst dressed was Nicole and myself. They didn't like our clothing choices. Well, whatever. I'm a dad. I wear dad clothes. I got a dad bod, and I can live with it. And they thought Nicole dressed like a preschooler. I think is what they said, with some of her unicorn wear and things like that. I don't think either one of us cared, but some people pay attention. I saw a few Twitters where people were making fun of some of my t-shirt choices or swimsuit choices and things like that. I don't care, whatever. But it was all me. What I wore was all me in there. So we had that. Crosstracks and Nicole Frenzel was able to wear her own logo. I guess if it's your own and you can say, hey, I authorize you to do it, then you're allowed to do it. Dawn's taking off. Dawn, hey, thank you for coming out here. I know you have to shut down a little early every night, but I appreciate you being out here anyway. So bye, Dawn. See you next Monday. Moss and I love Nicole Anthony's outfit. I thought it was fine. Hey, I'm not the fashion guru inside the house. There were people, who was amazing that would dress up, because on eviction night, I was like, whatever. I try to wear my boots and jeans and dress up a little bit on eviction nights because there's live TV and all that. But some of the women in there, Christy was one of the ones. Man, she and Kat both didn't really care so much the whole rest of the week, but come eviction night, I'd look over this, but geez, y'all brought some fancy clothes for the live shows on Thursday nights, didn't you? So yeah, it was it was fun. Hayden's saying BBUK withheld some suitcases from players for a while. The girls weren't amused. Oh, I can imagine that. Yeah, that'd be tough. Yeah, you're in the house. You just get that. Sometimes the clothing and all that. So some of the few things that you get to play around with while you're in there. Chicky D Kitty, is that why they took your Speedos back? I think that probably had something to do with public decency standards and the fact that they didn't want to lose a couple of million viewers all at once. I will say this. Yeah, for those of you who think I'm serious, no, I did not carry Speedos into the house. But if it helped me get into the house, I would have. But I will say at one point, before I was cast for the show, and during the casting process, they take pictures, as you can imagine, all kinds of pictures and everything. At one point, I had to have a swimsuit picture taken, and I asked him. I said, "Look, I'll do it however y'all want. You want me to wear a shirt or go shirtless without the swimsuit?" They said, "Oh, you can do it however you want." I said, "Well, I'll tell you what. What if I go shirtless? I'll throw on the cowboy hat, so it's just a cowboy hat and my swimsuit. Seems okay to me." They started laughing. They said, "Dad, if you're cool with it, we are." So that's how I took my swimsuit photograph, and I liked it. I think it helped me in terms of getting onto the show and the casting process, because they realized that, hey, for better or worse, I own who I am, and I was going to have fun with it no matter what. And no one was going to embarrass me about body types, body styles, nothing. And so I went in saying I'm gonna have fun with every bit of it, and they knew that's how I was treating the show, and I do think that helped in terms of casting and everything else. Chris, if they had another Big Brother All-Stars and they chose you, is there anyone in particular you'd like to play with? Yeah, I don't know, Chris. It depends from a strategy standpoint or just hanging around all summer with, because those answers may not be the same. There are people that I really admire that have been on that show in the past that I also think I'd like to play a game with them. People like Donnie Thompson, that'd be kind of fun. Scotty or Johnny Mac. Nothing against Scotty. I'd play with him as well. But Johnny Mac, I always thought he was kind of fun. And then there's some of the ladies over the years have been. Oh, I cannot believe I can't remember her name. Who was the one that was so funny? The blonde hair that would do the diary rooms, and it. I must be getting old because I can't remember this stuff. So, I don't know. Cliff looks like he's turned a little red now. Maybe it's because it's hot. I'm not used to the temperatures just yet. So anyway, yeah, no, I don't know. Chris, there's a lot that it'd be tough for me right off the bat to throw some out. But there's the main thing. I want to play with the people that played strategic games over the years, because those are the ones I really would have fun matching wits with and going up against. There's other people who treated it very much as a big old board game. And playing. Brittany, oh, thank you, Amanda, thank you, Hayden. Why could I not? I feel bad about that because she is one of my favorites. She's a lot of fun. Ian, Terry as well. I've talked to Ian a few times. I met him a few times, and Kevin Schlubber. Yeah, Park. I don't know if Kevin would ever do it again. Kevin was one of the people that when he tried out made me realize that hey, I could try it for this show. If I ought to be able to get in there as well. So yeah, there's a lot of people. There are very few people that if I got in there and saw us playing with them that I would just go, oh, gosh, heaven help me for the next 3.5 months. Now, having said that, there's a few that if I saw them in there, I would probably just about fall over right there. And no, I'm not going to tell you who. There's a few people who would be an interesting challenge to work with for 3.5 months. But that's the beauty about the game, right? But yeah, Kevin, Donnie, some of the other older guys. Rennie, older woman from New Orleans. She was a card. She was hilarious. She'd be a lot of fun to hang around with as well. So yeah, there's a lot of people I'd have a blast playing with. But at the end of the day, put me in there with whoever. I'm not criticizing. I'm not complaining. I'm not putting any kind of limits on who I'm going to or not going to play with. You want to put me back in the house? Put me back in the house. I'll play with whoever else you want to put in there. I may regret that someday, but that's okay. I'd play with anyone. All right, so we've got what else? So Francisco Goya talked about the paintings. We've got so many holidays this week, guys. How do we even keep up with it? We've got May Day was on Saturday. All right, real quick story. It's got to be quick because I'm already getting towards the end of it here. May Day, which we don't even barely celebrate here in the United States, right? And I'm not sure if they celebrate it up in Canada or not. I kind of feel like y'all do a little bit more than we do, but around the rest of the world, May Day's a big holiday, especially in China. I was in China one year. I was in Beijing. I was working on a project. I was there for a week or two. And I just happened to be over the May Day holiday. And everyone else they just took almost that whole week off to celebrate May Day. But I'm in the office working all by myself, trying to get my projects taken care of. Well, unfortunately, because no one else was working in the office, they decided that was a great time to paint the interior walls of the office. So I get in there one morning, they've painted all the walls overnight. I can do two things. I can either leave the windows closed and breathe in all that acrylic oil paints and everything. And it would be an interesting project because I would have been floating all around by the time I did that. Or I could open up the windows and breathe in all that glorious Beijing pollution because there was a lot of it back then. I think there still is. But so it's pretty miserable. So I was working all weekend with a lot of smells and everything. And finally, I think on a Saturday or Sunday, I said, man, I can't take this anymore. I have got to get out of here. So I called the manager of this office and said, is there anyone that can drive me around on a real quick tour of Beijing? Because I've never been here before and I'd love to check it out. So they get a driver. He doesn't speak any English, but they told him I wanted to go to Tiananmen Square. And it's right there across from the Forbidden Palace, and those giant pictures of Mao Zedong you always see in the pictures, and Tiananmen Square is so famous all on its own because of the independence fight that was there and everything. So they take me to Tiananmen Square. Well, I didn't realize that May Day in China is a huge holiday, and there are a whole lot of people that go to Tiananmen Square to celebrate that weekend. So the driver drops me off. Again, he didn't speak English, but we kind of use wristwatches and convey the information that I'll be back in 2 hours. Okay. So I get out of the car, I step out, and it's me and 1 million Beijing citizens, residents, all packed together in Tiananmen Square. And when I say 1 million, I kind of am being literal. Now, I didn't count them. Didn't do that, but I feel like it could have been 1 million people or close to it. This square was packed. This square is probably 1.5 miles long each direction. It's a huge, gigantic plaza. It probably is 1 mile each direction. So it's a huge area in between, and people were packed shoulder to shoulder. I've never been in a crowd so tightly packed as Tiananmen Square on that particular May Day. And I've never been so happy in my life that I was 6'2" or so, because I was a little bit taller than most of the people. I kind of stuck up like this above everyone else. So I at least had some breathing room. And as far as I could see in every direction, it was just a carpet of black hair, because it was just, 1 million people in the plaza. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life, seeing that many people at one place ever. Mardi Gras in New Orleans, a Texas A&M football game. Yeah, there's lots of people, but nowhere like that particular day in China in Tiananmen Square. It was amazing. The way I talk, it just so many people. I've never seen many people in my life. So that's my story on May Day. Let me look at my comments real quick, because I'm missing them all. Paul was fine. He just got annoying. I've talked to Paul before. Paul would be interesting to work with. He was strategic. Jury management, maybe he needed to work on a little bit. But Paul was an interesting character. I think we'd get along okay if we were inside the house. All right. Try to say may the 4th be with you. Yes. Let's go ahead and talk about other holidays. May Day was Saturday, and now tomorrow, as pointed out, yes, it's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Huge Star Wars fan growing up. Man, I loved the show. I'd heard all the hype when it first came out. My family was watching Smokey and the Bandit in another theater. Another great flick. Nothing against Burt Reynolds' Smokey and the Bandit, but I did take a little bathroom break and snuck over to the theater next door where Star Wars was playing, and got in just in time to see the big battle between Luke and between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader towards the end of the film. But I'd actually already read the book, so I knew kind of what happens in the movie. But I saw that and I was so excited. I told my parents that, we gotta go see Star Wars next. We've got to see it. So I was hooked from the very beginning. I may or may not have skipped school to watch The Empire Strikes Back. I probably did. But we were first day every time a new series came out or one of the new Star Wars films, and I loved them all. Now I gotta say I haven't seen the last two. I kind of slacked off a little bit towards the end, but the first three Star Wars films, oh my gosh, that's being a sci-fi kid that I was. It was amazing. Had a blast with it. And I got a little story for y'all about that. 1 year right after Star Wars came out, my parents always worked. My mom was a big supporter of March of Dimes. And every year they had a haunted house that they ran in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And several years in a row, I worked at the haunted house, dressed up as different characters or would help take tickets, do whatever. What was that? I was about 11 or 12 years old, probably 12 years old or so, when we did a haunted house. And one of the rooms in the haunted house was the cantina from Star Wars. Yeah, it was cool. And so I dressed up as a Jawa, had a little black robe or brown robe and a little black netting so you could see my face just to the lights. And I'd walk up to all the people and go, and I'd try to exchange little tokens with them and just do like they did in Star Wars, and just had a blast. So I spent a week and a half, 2 weeks playing a Jawa at the haunted house, and that was my contribution with Star Wars, was playing the Jawa. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So may the 4th be with you tomorrow. Time is 7:45. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for a comment here. All right. Here's how I was like, Chris, I saw a second ago. I was going to comment. When I was in the Navy, my ship pulled into Naples, Italy on May Day. They didn't allow us to wear uniforms off ship because they were afraid it would cause trouble with May Day demonstrators. Yeah, I guess I could see that. May Day. Yeah, it's like a workers' holiday or something, isn't it supposed to be? Or at least it kind of was in some parts of the world. So that's kind of cool. I would have a blast. Just being in Navy would be kind of neat that you get to go somewhere like Naples, you off board and get to see the sights while you're there and everything. And I would think on most days, most places they'd welcome you in. Sailor with some hard-earned cash and all of that to spend. But yeah, well, I'm sorry you weren't allowed to wear your uniform, but they probably knew better than the rest of us did about what was safe or what wasn't safe. But that's pretty neat, Chris. I talk to people who've been in the military, and especially sailors have been so many different places around the world. It's cool. I love global travel, so it's a great way to see the world, as long as everyone's behaving. When they are, it's a little more risky, but it's good. Thank you. Thank you for serving and all of that. All right, let's see. Memorial Day, May 31st. Yeah, we haven't talked about Memorial Day, Angie. That's a little bit further down the road. Crosstrack's birthday's in May. Oh, on Memorial Day. I didn't know that. Oh, well, happy early birthday to you. I guess we got a few more episodes to talk about that. Ma's saying, I feel bad for people born on holidays because I feel like holiday takes away from their birthday. Yeah, some of them, I guess so, especially if you're born on Christmas or trying to think what others that are always the same day. I guess Christmas and 4th of July are the two main ones that every year they're on the same day, right? It'd be kind of hard to have your 4th of July not being on the 4th of July every year. But yeah, it'd be a little tough. I guess you learn to share a little bit with the holiday itself. So we got that. All right, but we had May Day. We've got May the 4th be with you, Star Wars Day tomorrow. And it doesn't end there. No, because this week's just action-packed. We didn't have on Wednesday. Y'all know what Wednesday is? Y'all know what Wednesday is, right? If I give you a little hint, it's May 5th. Yeah, it's Cinco de Mayo, which I always laugh about because did y'all know Cinco de Mayo is I don't know if they celebrate it up in Canada. Guys, can y'all tell me? But down here in the United States, we all celebrate Cinco de Mayo, even though they don't really celebrate it down in Mexico. It's a Mexican-American kind of celebration. Officially, it celebrates the Mexican victory over the French at the city of Puebla, I think. But it's kind of just a minor battle. I think the in Mexico, they celebrate Mexican Independence Day. They don't really celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo was actually created back in the 60s by all the U.S. beer and wine manufacturers who were just looking for another day to celebrate. And I read a thing earlier today that said that they now sell as much beer and wine on Cinco de Mayo as they do for the Super Bowl. So it's turned into a big celebration. So, come Wednesday, I'll have a few Coronas or Tecates, and it's not Taco Tuesday. We'll have to put that off a day. But we'll have a little tacos or enchiladas and something, celebrate the Tex-Mex and celebrate the Mexican victory down in Puebla. Good job, guys. Now let's have a beer and celebrate. Yeah, so happy Cinco de Mayo to all of y'all on Wednesday. And then it still doesn't end there because it's just an action-packed week. Because May Day on Saturday, 4th be with you on Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo on Wednesday, and Sunday's a big one. This is the one y'all can't. If you forget about Cinco de Mayo, that's cool. I'll be fine. Do not forget on Sunday, Mother's Day. Yeah, it's Mother's Day. Don't be forgetting your mothers. If you are a mother, thank you. The toughest job in the world, one of the most stressful jobs, but one of the absolute most important jobs that you could ever have. So to all the mothers out there, thank you. And for all of you who have mothers and people who've stepped into the role as a mother for you, thank them. Thank them, because it's not always an easy job, and yet we're all so much better because of it. So however you want to do it, make sure you call your mother, send her some flowers, or just reach out. I think most moms would just be happy to hear from their kids and know they're being thought of. And that's the most important part of it. So yeah, it's fun. We got Mother's Day, and then we got Father's Day, and Father's Day is important as well. But Mother's Day is a big one, and So yeah, do not forget. And if you do, don't say that I didn't warn you. Don't say that I didn't remind you. There's no excuse for it at this point in time. Angie's saying they do Cinco de Mayo in Canada, and it's not huge. Okay, I figured that was probably the case. And Canada's got a real diverse population, so I'm sure that you've got a Mexican. I guess they wouldn't be Mexican American, would they? They'd be Mexican Canadian. I'm sure you got contingent up there as well, but certainly not quite to the same degree as we have down here in Houston, for example, because we're so close to the border and we work together so much and everything else. So, all right, so it doesn't really matter, does it? You can still celebrate up in Canada and everywhere else, and everyone can celebrate that particular day. Wow, it is 7:50. It just keeps creeping up on us. All right, let's see. I just taught my elderly mother how to use the internet. She is happy now. Alpha Cat, congratulations. I'm sure it took a whole lot of patience. Oh, my kids go crazy trying to teach us sometimes the finer points of the internet and everything. But for the most part, I feel like I'm there. And then I turn around and I try to teach my mom. My mom, it's not so much the internet. It's some things like smart TVs and Amazon Fire Sticks and things like that take a little work, but it's all worth it. It's this whole brave new world. And for those of you who are laughing, saying, how could you not know the internet or whatever else? Just wait 40 or 50 years, and your kids are going to be teaching you how. Mom, Dad, I can't believe y'all don't know how to use that holodeck. I can't believe you don't know how to use that virtual thingamajig to jack right into the worldwide frame structure. I don't know, whatever. Throwing some fancy sci-fi words, I guess. Yeah, Hayden, celebrating teachers and Mother's Day all in the same week. Perfect. Yeah, it's absolutely good stuff. It's some of the most important. You think, as you're a kid, who influences you more? Who makes you, for better or worse, the person that you are? It's got to be the moms and the teachers and the dads. But let's be honest, a large part of it's the moms and the teachers that you spend so much time with, and they make the difference between the good and the bad. And everyone deserves that guidance and the mentorship and the leadership that turns you into a fine, upstanding individual. Not everyone always gets it, but it's important to recognize those who help you along the way. All right, let's see what else. I was going to talk a little bit about some of the movies. Again, it was raining all weekend, so I saw a bunch of movies, but we'll talk about it later, because otherwise, I'll just start talking and I'll go forever. I did see Without Remorse on Amazon Prime. I'm a huge Tom Clancy fan, so and Michael B. Jordan, amazing actor. We'll talk about it next week. I'm just saying, if you haven't seen it yet, watch it. I'd love to get your thoughts on that, and we'll talk about the rest of the movies later. All right, guys, 7:54. Normally I go right up till 8, but again, Big Brother's on. I'm excited. It took me a little while to find it last week, so hopefully give me a few minutes to track it down. So we're going to go ahead and shut it down now. But guys, y'all have a fantastic week. Enjoy the first full week of May. For those of you who've got the bad weather, stay safe. Crawl into the bathtub, ride it out or whatever. Hopefully it's not too bad. But then enjoy the rest of the week. It's going to be fun to see who wins Big Brother Canada. And once that's over, Big Brother USA coming up right after that. Y'all have a great one, guys. I'm going to finish up as I always do. SKD 143. Y'all have a fantastic week. I love my wife, love my kids, love all the other reality TV fans out there. Love all of y'all who come out here and share Monday night with me. Just such a cool way to start the week. Have a great one. Stay safe. Talk to y'all later, guys. Cheers, my friends. Bye.